Welcome to Turn to Your Neighbor. This is the Christian Talk Show where we talk about the church, music, movies, social media, and a whole lot more. My name is Cliff, and this is Dr. T. Hello. What's
Hey
up?
neighbors, what's up, Cliff? We back.
We are back. Yeah, we had to take a week off last week for, unforeseen circumstances, but we are back,
Mm-hmm.
and it's so good to be with you and all the neighbors today. Unfortunately,
So good.
Dre has bigger and better, more important things to
Yeah, it's
do.
TTYN minus one,
Mine is one.
which you know what, guys? It's been a bit more common this semester,
Here comes
but
the
that's
shade.
okay. We're gonna give him some grace.
Here
We're gonna
comes the
give him some
shade.
grace. So
Dre, if you're listening, you can still join in whenever you want, no matter what
hey,
time. I'm
exactly.
sure the neighbors will be happy that you
Yeah,
come.
no, I
Because
think he's doing something good and important.
yeah, there is definitely a Dre contingency. The people that just text Dre during the middle of the show don't say nothing but text him. I'm sorry. You have to hold your anger
Right.
in or put it in the chat. I don't know. Do something. You could
Right.
you could message us on Facebook if you got
Exactly.
the anger you normally direct towards Dre. Well, not necessarily anger, but the comments. We'll just say that the
Mhm.
comments that you
Mhm.
normally direct towards Dre. If you don't want to put in the chat, you could Facebook message us,
That's
and
right.
yeah, we won't say your name.
We can take it.
We can take it. Yeah, we'll have a good time. All right, man. Let's get to it. So, did you see? Oh, I'm sorry, neighbors. I have not forgotten about you all, neighbors. Do me a favor and please share wherever you are.
That's right.
You hit the like button if you're on YouTube, Facebook, share. If you're watching on demand, shout out to all the neighbors watching on demand. Please share, even though you're watching,
Mhm.
days after this been recorded. Go ahead. We still love you if you share. We still
Right.
appreciate it. Still helps.
Your share matters.
Yeah, share does matter, and it
That's
does help.
right.
Shout out to all the YouTube watchers. We are like 150 subscribers on YouTube, slowly growing, creeping up there.
That's what's up.
And we got videos that are getting like 1,000 views on YouTube. So um
Yo,
yeah.
that's mega
So
church
that's
status.
yes.
That's like small mega church.
Great for mega churches, not much for podcasts, but we'll
Right.
take it though. We'll take it. Yes.
You know
If
what? But we're
TTYN,
we're at a whole nother level though. We're in a different dimension.
yeah, as far as YouTube goes, views go, if TTYN was a church, we will at least be having to open up the overflow for some
Hello.
for some episodes. That's-
Exactly.
so we moving on.
That's right.
All right, first thing I want to talk about. Have Did you watch the Grammys?
I
No.
did.
Oh, you actually did. You were the one person. No, you watched it.
I half watched it
You have watched it.
because
Uh huh.
Jasmine Sullivan. I was mostly watching to see
Oh,
if she won anything,
okay.
and she did, and I was very pleased. But yeah, I half watched it. I like Trevor Noah, so I was glad to see him doing his thing. I gotta admit to you though, Cliff, every year when I watch these award shows, it used to be just with like the BET Awards, Hip Hop Awards, all that.
Mhm.
Now with the Grammys, I don't know who most of these people are.
No,
I
no
don't
idea.
know what they sing.
No idea. Never songs win.
And
Never
so
heard of
I'm
them.
just like, you know what? Hey, you know, I will say something I found a little disturbing. Yo, I feel like the waif thin look is coming back. People, I just we need to keep eating. I don't know what's up. I don't know
Okay.
why this is a thing, but this was something I really noticed at both these last two award shows, and I don't
Hmm.
like it. Because it's just not a good look. And so I'm like, what are people doing? Because in order to be that thin, they're actually thinner than they look on camera. So that was scary. But it was also bad that they made most of the people of color perform outside of the building. But I guess you're
Yeah.
gonna talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I do want to kind of get into that. So I've said on this show a lot of times for a long time. My favorite genre of music always been gospel. Just
Mm-hmm.
not because I'm some holy roller. That's just how it's been. Uh, so I figured out a long time the Grammys wasn't for me. Once
That's
I
right.
realized that the gospel awards were given at the Grammy luncheon the day before, and all you see is a picture of the person holding their award, never get on the stage, and there's no no Grammy performances. So
Right.
unless there's like an R&B and hip hop artist that's performing that I'm kind of interested in, or an album that I really liked in R&B and hip hop that I know is gonna win some awards, I want to see it get its due. That's the only
Mm-hmm.
time I checked out the Grammys.
Yeah.
But as far as gospel goes, so they have it used to be you just get best gospel album and that's it. So they have kind of over the years they have expanded the
Mm-hmm.
awards. And so I'll break down some of these awards. So best gospel performance slash song.
Mm-hmm.
The nominees, and some of these people have Voice of God by Dante Bowen. I don't know who Dante Bowen featuring Stephanie Greitzinger, Chandler Moore, Dante Bowe. I don't know who these people are, but um, Voice of God, never heard of the song. Joyful by Dante Bowe. I'll be honest, never heard of that. Help by Anthony Brown, Group Therapy.
Yeah.
Never Lost by CeCe Winans, and Wait
Mm-hmm.
on You by Elevation Worship and Maverick City. Some of these
Mm-hmm.
names we're going to hear pretty frequently
Yeah.
because oh, okay, so I guess Dante Bowe must be affiliated with Elevation Worship because his name or Maverick City
Oh.
because his name is on the Elevation song. So the
Okay.
winner of this song was CeCe Winans Never Lost. So I'm not
Right.
really surprised because if you listen to radio, you hear it pretty
Mm-hmm.
frequently. All right, and so the next one is Best Contemporary Christian Music Performance slash Song. We Win, with Kurt Franklin, Lil Baby. That was the soundtrack to Space Jam 2. That was on the soundtrack to
Right.
Space Jam 2.
Right.
That's a very underrated song. Like that movie gets put down a lot. And the
Because
song,
the
the- that's one of them songs. Like the beat is so good, and it's one of them songs where if they tried to do too much with it, like I think they tried to commercialize it too much.
the song or the
The
movie?
song, the song we win, the song we win, the
Oh,
song we
like they
win. I
tried to
think
put too many things that are too
yeah,
many
like
trendy things in it.
I don't know. I can't understand. This may be I'm an old man. I have no idea what Lil Baby saying in this song. Like
Ah.
I don't know what he's doing.
Well, you know what? The kids really like him.
Yeah.
That this came up. He came up commonly. I teach a hip hop class and I let them, have a little leeway.
Mhm.
He came up frequently. He was the fan favorite last semester. So they really like him. He has some good stuff.
So I'm going to ask a young person, or younger person, I should say, because I'm still young. A younger person, what do they think as far as Lil Baby performances go? Where does his performance and We Win rank? Like, is this how he is all the time, or is this he just had a bad? So I don't know what the brother's saying in the song. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I can't
I
make out
don't
what he's
know. I mean, that's not something that particular song isn't something that would be on their radar.
saying.
And I
I'll let him
remember,
listen to it. I'll play it for him. I'll play it
yeah.
for the young people. The
And
other,
I
go ahead.
I think that I mean, he does a lot of collaboration, and I think he's known for being particularly authentic.
Okay.
So, you
So the
know.
other nominees were "Hold Us Together" by Her and Torrin Wells, "Man of Your Word" by Chandler Moore and KJ Scriven, "Believe for It," CeCe Winans, and "Gyra," Elevation Worship and Maverick City Music. This is Best Contemporary Music Performance slash Song, and "Believe for It" by CeCe Winans beat out Maverick City
I was
and Gyra.
shocked.
Yeah,
Now, I love me some CeCe because Detroit stand up.
yeah.
But I was shocked because Gyra, and this is what I don't get, Cliff. I'm so glad we're having this conversation. And when I was watching the Grammys, I was like, I can't wait till Tuesday.
Uh-huh.
And you all can break down for me. Well, you can break down for me. So you got the same artist, the same album in two different categories.
Yeah,
So CCM and gospel, like
yeah.
and then there's something else. I think there's another like gospel contemporary. There's something, I think there was another
So,
category that was kind of not either of those.
yeah,
Or
the
maybe I'm making
ones.
that up.
Well, there's a best gospel. There's a best gospel roots album. There's best contemporary.
Gospel roots.
Yeah.
So what's the like I guess so I was like, okay, gospel roots, I think like Shirley Caesar.
Yes. So the description is for albums containing at least 51% playing time of newly recorded vocal, traditional slash roots gospel music, including country, southern gospel, bluegrass, and American recordings.
This is so interesting.
If I
So, I mean,
told y'all who won this, if I told y'all who won this category, y'all might be a little disappointed.
because we don't think of this person as
It's
having
gospel.
gospel roots.
Carrie Underwood.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So
Which
I'm.
who knew she put out a gospel album?
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't know. Let me read these other two real quick. Best gospel album. The nominees were "Changing Your Story" by Caitlin Carr, "Royalty" Jubilee, "Royalty" by Tasha Cobbs, "Jubilee" by Maverick City, Johnny X Molly. Johnny Jonathan McReynolds and Molly Music, and Believe for It, CeCe Winans, Believe for It won again,
Right.
and contemporary Christian music album No Stranger, Natalie Grant, Feels Like Home, Israel New Breed, The Blessing, Carrie Job, Citizen of Heaven, Torrin Wells, Old Church Basement, Elevation Worship, and Maverick City Music. In total, CeCe took home 3 awards.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of proving that she's the most accomplished female solo artist of all time.
Yeah.
Um,
Per the
yeah,
Recording Academy.
yeah,
Yes.
and Maverick City took home one. So Maverick City, even though they not only they took home one award, and the world we live in, Maverick City music has more Grammys than John P. Key. Like think about that.
That's so interesting. But I mean
Yes.
that just goes into like you how you said the Grammys aren't for you. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not really for it hasn't been for black aesthetic music. Like it
Yeah, it
hasn't
hasn't.
been like the Grammys version of R&B is usually different from like R&B. The Grammys version of gospel whatever is always
Yeah.
sort of different from I think how we would categorize it. So it's incredibly confusing.
Yeah. And it has not, and I'm not gonna go deeper in that because I'll be ready to fight somebody.
Mm.
But in Jesus' name. But but Maverick City made history because for the first time in 20 years, a Christian/gospel artist performed live on the show. They was outside on the roof. They wasn't in the
Yes, they
theater,
were.
but it did air. It did
Hey,
air. It did air with the other performances. So congratulations to Maverick City. And here's some pictures of the neighbors that are watching on video, live and on demand. You can see and some pictures they performed on the roof. They sung Gyra. I didn't even see the performance, but
well,
uh,
they showed snippets because they would like cut to commercial and show the group like on the way out from commercial and then on the way back in from commercial. So if you yeah, it
oh
was like
goodness,
heavily
they
marginalized.
they didn't even get a whole
No.
set like a whole oh goodness.
But you know what? You could tell they still sang a whole set. And it wasn't just them. It was there was a Latin artist who did her thing. And
Okay.
it looked like everybody up there was having way more fun. So she was up there, and I think there was one or two other artists up there, but they did their thing, and you saw people in full worship just like on their music videos. And so
Mhm.
that was a special moment, I think.
I believe it. I believe and like I said, if you are into gospel music in any way, if you want to get mad, just one day just go to Grammy.com and type in the name of your favorite artist. And you'll see the lack of awards he or she has won for songs you probably loved. Lack of
Right.
not even lack of nominations for songs that you probably love and you sung every Sunday at church and all this other kind of stuff. But congratulations to CeCe and Maverick City Music.
Yes.
Um, and while we're on the topic of CeCe, last week while we were out, it was announced that the next verses, which is going to
Yes.
happen April 17th, excuse me, will be between CeCe, BeBe and CeCe Winans, and Mary Mary. I have said this was the only next logical one because in terms of mass appeal,
Hmm.
even though I think this may be the biggest, somebody could correct me if I'm wrong, the biggest age discrepancy between two competing artists as far as release of music when their music was popular. All the other ones I can think of, music was popular around the same time.
I think I would
um
agree with that.
BB and
Mhm.
CC, BB's music was popular first, and then Mary Mary came in. So this is like the first time you have that disparity. um,
Yeah.
but yeah, BB and CC Winans versus Mary Mary. Do you watch Versus? Are you gonna check this out? Neighbors, do y'all watch it? You gonna check it out? Let me know.
I used to. I mean, this to me was my favorite thing out of the pandemic.
Yeah.
But then when we had to go back to work and stuff, like in the building, I
Uh-huh.
didn't have time for this. And I never know when it's happening because I'm not on Instagram like that. So I
Yeah.
never know when it's happening. But I am gonna, if I think about it, tune in for this. This is gonna be really interesting because people of a certain age don't tend to do that well on Versus because Versus, even though it's become like live and all that,
Yeah.
it's a very much a social media innovation. And if you don't really get that, I think you don't do that well. Like the last one I sort of watched was Stephanie Mills and Shaka Khan.
Okay, I did not see that one. How was it?
Oh, Shaka Khan was like off her rocker. Like, as in, they should not have let her be filmed.
Yeah, because it's like
Like,
she was drunk or something. Like she looked drunk.
yeah, it was bad. And like Stephanie Mills, she's older, seasoned woman, but you could tell
Hmm.
she be all up in the whatever that dating app is for older people. She cute, and she know it.
Yeah.
But she was trying to help out Shaka Khan. She was like, "Come on, girl." Shaka Khan didn't know her lyrics, but like in a bad way because she's not that old. It was bad. It was really bad. And it's also like they don't really get the like they're used to doing things so staged. You know how social media is
Hmm.
supposed to be a little more off script. So it'll be interesting to see how these two generations do it. Plus, BeBe and CeCe are like very much polished. Mary, if you watch their reality show ever,
Yeah, I
they
seen it.
love each other, but they, act like sometimes sisters act like they don't always be on the same page.
Yes, the editing has made it what no, I'm not sure how it is in reality, but the editing has made it look like there's a lot more abrasiveness between them than you would think, and not necessarily negative like they hate each other,
No.
but the editing made it look like Tina didn't want to work.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that they have different ideas around family
Yes,
and work ethic
and
and that
and,
type of thing.
and different. It made it look like they had different goals around their career as far as their
Yes,
careers go. Yeah,
different levels of
yeah.
ambition at that
Yes.
moment.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
At that
Now,
moment in
now
time.
whether it's like that in reality, I don't know, but the editing definitely made it look like that. But I saw some. So I saw a couple of the older. You mentioned the older people how they perform in verses, and now verses has anybody who's watching verses. It's definitely evolved since it first started. It used
Oh
to be
yeah.
two different people, two different rooms. Just playing stuff through their speakers at home through their phone. And you got the old people kind of act like stereotypical old people. You had
Exactly.
like as far as the
They
ones
have
I
no
saw,
idea what
as
Instagram
far as
is.
the ones I saw, like the John P. Key Hezekiah Walker one, they the audio just wasn't ideal at all. Even they were like one of them, I forgot which one, but one of them had the earbuds on, so the audio was coming through that little piece on the earbud and not like in the microphone through the microphone on their phone.
Yeah.
And I just remember like all I remember looking at the chat and it was clear they were like we everybody in the chat was there to party, right?
Yeah.
And John and Hez came to minister. And
Yes.
I'm talking about Christians, I'm talking about quote unquote secular artists. Like we were all like, yeah, let's go, let's go. And John and Hez like, no, you about to catch this ministry. We here to
Yeah.
minister to you right now. And the rest of us was here to party.
Hmm.
And then I saw Snoop Snoop was older technically. He was with
Yeah.
somebody. That one was fine. They were in the
Oh, I didn't
same
see
room.
that.
They had a good
Okay.
time. Was it Snoop and DMX? Think so. Yeah.
Oh, that
That
see, I
might have been.
completely missed that. Okay.
The Fred Hammond and the Fred Hammond Kurt Franklin one, I thought that
That
was
went
great. That
well
was so well done. You could
because they were
tell
in the same place
in the
too.
same room. You could tell they had thought about it. They planned it out. They had Marvin Sapp. They brought in Tamla
Yes.
Man. TD Jake started off with a prayer.
Yes.
Kirk was dancing with his wife. It was like they was having a good time, and hence we all had a good time.
Yes.
I saw Gladys, was it Gladys Knight and Patti LaBelle?
Yes.
That was to like your typical when your grandmother and her friend get together. They
Yes.
talk about good old times. They talk about old
Yes.
people who have probably passed away.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was like, okay, grandma,
And
this is
also, Miss Patty has forgotten the words to a lot of her songs, but I loved it. But she
exactly.
looked really good and she was positive. You could tell she forgot the words because she's old,
Yeah.
right? And
And
she's like,
then
"Look, I usually at the concerts I do like this." And plus, they hadn't been performing, so yeah, she forgot the
and
words, but they look
then the
great.
Isley brothers,
I miss them.
and I forgot who the Isley went against. I think it was the Isley brothers, but they had a DJ, I think it was a DJ that was on stage with them to help kind of facilitate everything. So
Mhm.
that was just like, your grandfather and his boys getting together, believing their old music. That was a good time.
They did Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Earth, Wind&
It was
Fire, yeah,
Isley. Mm.
yeah, that was a good time. So, but this is going to be different because not only do you have the age disparity, but you have, I think, a battle in different styles of music. CeCe and BeBe's music is more, and not this is a bad, this is more easy listening gospel.
Yep. Yep.
And gospel on the verge of love songs. Like, I'm gonna go
Yes.
right up to it. And if I don't say Jesus, you're not gonna know who I'm singing about if you don't pay
Yes.
attention clearly. Right? Mary, they have what Drake calls bangers. They have more what Drake calls bangers with
Yep.
progressive beats and everything.
Yep.
And so it's gonna be interesting to see how those two styles contrast. And I'm wondering if they're gonna let them do solo music as well. Because I have a feeling, just so
Mm.
if no matter how the artist view the whole experience, at least on all the verses I've seen, no matter how the artist view the experience, the people in the chat or the people watching, they see it as a true battle. Like the artists, clearly we just playing our music, having a good
Yeah.
time, but there are people in the comments keeping score. All right.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. So I think when people keep score, they're gonna get more hype over Mary's music only because the sound is a
They're
little
not
more
gonna know
contemporary,
BB and
and
CC's
they may
music.
not know BB and CC's music because you're gonna have a lot of people who came to Mary from either Erica Campbell on the radio or the show or their music. However, if they are allowed, so I can see Mary kind of taking it early. If in the beginning they just do stuff they just recorded and not solo stuff like group music, I can see people leaning towards Mary. However, if they start doing solo music and uh, it gets down to it, and they start dropping some of them CC Winans hits,
Yeah.
it's gonna be like in the Avengers Endgame when them portals open and like the Black Panther and the Wakandas came in and Spider-Man, they all came through the portals. Here come the reinforcements. It's gonna be like that if they start doing CC's music.
Look, and also, you're talking about different styles here and a different, more contemporary gospel did not require the same vocal, necessarily the same vocal, I don't know, power. I'll say, and I'm not throwing shade, but I will say Tina, even among Mary, Tina has a very different vocal style and I think strengths than Erica does.
Oh yeah, Tina's a vocal beast. Like
Yes. And so
homegirl
that's
needs
what
that
I'm
prop.
saying. If
Yeah,
she's more, and I mean the Winans, see, I feel like they just were like basically grew up in like gospel boot camp. And so I
yeah.
think that they're going to perform the mess out of this because that's just what they know how to do. And they're going to class it up and take it up. And it'll either hit and people be like, "Ooh, yeah, I'm into this," or it won't because it'll be awkward because it's not the right scene. But because the thing is, even though Mary is younger than them,
Mhm.
Mary still isn't really like Instagram young.
No,
And
no.
the thing is, I feel like a good versus is also made off of personality. Like
Yeah.
the Ludacris Nelly versus I enjoyed because Nelly was just like having a good time. And Luda was like, dude, this is work. Like I'm trying to do my stuff. And Nelly was like all over the place. But it was fun because his energy, I feel like, was contagious. And so I'm very interested to see how these energies match. BeBe and CeCe know how to do it. Mary I don't know. I feel like it could get
No, nope,
awkward.
nope. They are going to put on a performance.
Okay.
I guarantee you, Mary Mary will show up prepared because
Okay.
between the two of them and Warren Campbell, they will show up prepared.
Okay.
I Mary Mary is. I doubt they're going to disappoint us at all. I don't think
Okay.
BeBe and CeCe will, but Mary Mary will not disappoint. Like they've always had a good hold of their understanding of their catalog. So
Yeah.
they know the hot
And
songs
their sound.
and their
Yeah.
sound. And Warren and them between them
He's
and
gonna
Warren,
produce the mess out of it. Yeah.
between them and Warren, they've always had a good understanding. Because I'm not sure if you ever been to like a concert or something, and the artist just sings a bunch of songs. Like, why are you singing this? Like, we don't care. Like Mary Mary, I think they have a good hold on their catalog. They won't disappoint. But if CeCe Winans is able to do Alabaster Box, that's gonna shut it down. Like Alabaster Box is like the big joker. You playing spades. I think
Yeah,
of
that's
all
gonna
the
win
songs,
every time.
yeah, of all the songs between all four of them, either solo or joint, yeah, Alabaster Box is probably the big joker, and she could shut it down
That
with
and
that
she
song.
sings a lot of the old hymns really well. Like she
Yeah,
has a good version of Blessed Assurance. She has a good version of I Surrender All. Like she can basically she has so much that she can pull from. And I feel like BB is a master. I don't know if he's a producer as well, but he seems
yeah,
like he's a master. She always talks about CeCe always talks about how BB taught her how to really perform a song and
yeah.
not just sing a song. And so he has that. I mean, they got that old school like when we show up every time kind of thing. I'm not saying Mary Mary isn't like that. I don't know.
I'm
And
a,
I
I'm
did they think at the Super Bowl,
I'm
but
hearing some of my neighbors' comments. So Gary said they in boot camp right now. Um, Chris said what about Go Get It by Mary Mary? I
yeah.
guess he's probably talking about to Alabaster Box. And I'm gonna
Mm.
tie these two together because Gary said the winner depends on the crowd. I forgot that they've been doing them with a crowd now. The thing about Alabaster Box compared to Go Get It is this, not to say the spirit won't fall with Go Get It, but the spirit was tend to fall when that woman sings Alabaster Box. So I could see her singing it, and it's one of the moments where it's hard for you to just move on and do anything else because the spirit just comes in the room and just like wrecks everything. That's what I mean why she could shut it down with that song.
And you know what? They might not even. I actually think that they have at least Cece and them have a relationship, beyond the lights.
Yeah.
And so they might also be planning like a Kirk Franklin, Fred Hammond type
Oh
thing
yeah,
too,
yeah.
maybe.
I have no intention for them to be trying to battle, quote
Yeah.
unquote, battle each other. Like they're not gonna be coming at
Yeah.
each other's necks. They're gonna go and sing and have a good time. They're not gonna be coming at each
Yeah.
other.
And all these happen in Atlanta now. Is that how it works?
I don't even know. And I know they tried to start charging. They tried to charge for the last one and people got upset. And I'm
Was
not
that
sure if
music Soul Child and Anthony
I think
Hamilton?
so.
I watched a little bit of that. It was a hot mess.
But I'm gonna watch this one. A, because we do the show, and B,
Yeah.
because I'm like generally interested. So April 17th versus Mary Mary and BeBe and CeCe. Check it out. All right. So um I got stuff of just people doing crazy stuff.
Okay.
There's no other way I can say it. uh if you ever, I'm not sure if you ever worked the altar, but those of you who have ever worked the altar, you know
Mhm.
that it can get dangerous at times, and you probably, even though you're not getting paid, you do deserve hazard pay. I want y'all to,
Accidental death and
yeah, I
dismemberment
want y'all, yeah,
insurance.
I want you, I want you and the neighbors to check out what happens when these sisters are working the altar. No, this is the wrong one. I'm gonna tee up something. I'll go to the altar one first. Hold on, let me.
I was about to say that even what you just
No,
played, that looked like it was
here's
gonna end
here's
wrong.
the here's the altar one. Here we go. So what you see is the altar workers are helping this woman, and she's backing up, and there are two people behind her, and they all just topple over. All three of them. The woman that's worshiping, and the two people behind her. It's dangerous out there in these altar worker streets.
Yeah, how you gonna be slain in the spirit and mobile at the same time? Like, I feel like why are they trying to move her? Like, or why is she like that? To me, that's like a gentle floor lay
Yeah,
prostrate situation. Apply the blanket, let her do her thing, you know? I'm not sure why they're walking her down the aisle like that.
yeah. That's what happens. But you gotta keep your balance when you work in the altar. You got to stay balanced.
And they had a good number of people, but yeah, that woman behind her, that was it. The
And
woman
then
in front was like, "You know what? You guys go behind.
and as
I'm
some
gonna
of the
be the
neighbors
worship
pointed
rep."
out, homegirl right here, she's like, I'm out. Like this is not with my baby. Oh no, I'm going.
Nah, they playing games.
Let me get my baby and get out.
Word.
All right, so I'll go to the video that some of you saw that I played inadvertently. Um, so it's one thing when the altar workers are falling, but it's another thing when you letting my Jesus fall. Check this out. And there's another one coming. They're trying to.
When did we start doing this, Saints? When did we start putting actual people on crosses?
I don't know. I don't know. Um, and did these people run a rehearsal?
So
So
confused.
for the audio listeners, we have two separate videos. One video, they're both videos of someone playing Jesus hanging on the cross. This first one, you have this guy just standing up there, and it just falls off. Like the cross shape, the horizontal part of the cross, just falls
Mhm.
off. It's still attached to the brother. Just um
Then
just
they
comes down.
detach
Then
it.
they detach it, and then
Why
they're still
can't
a
they just abort the
Props
mission?
props to Jesus because he doesn't break character. My man
Nope.
playing Jesus, I'm gonna go back to that. My man playing Jesus does not break character. His arms are pretty much out the whole time. Like
Uh-huh.
he brings him in just a little bit, but he keeps his arms out the whole time. When I lifted him up, he holds his arms out.
And somebody was
Yeah,
like, "That's just the devil.
yeah.
That's just it." No, that's y'all didn't nail this in properly, and the cross isn't strong enough, and we should have tried this. Is this
And
a person too,
this is another
or
person.
this is a dummy?
No, this is another person. This is a person. You can't have Jesus be a dummy. You got to have the authentic Jesus. You got to have authentic. You got to have
But why
authenticity
the
with your
hair is
skit.
all in the faces? Oh my god, are they okay? That would okay.
So the second video we saw them lifting the cross up, and as soon as it got upright, Jesus just fell off. Like it
Hmm.
wasn't no stable at all. But full transparency to the neighbors, because some of the neighbors already know this, but I played Jesus in a play once, and I was hoisted upon the cross. Thank God it did not fall. Yeah, it
Really?
did not fall. That thing was super sturdy. That's why I
Oh
don't know
my
what this is.
gosh.
That thing,
So
these people.
how were you attached to said cross?
Oh, it had hooks. It had like leather hooks, leather straps for me to
Oh, so they
put my
strapped you
arm.
in.
Yeah, they strapped me in. Yeah, they had. Oh yeah, like and it
I've
was
never
on
seen
the back
this.
of the cross was on wheels. So if I'm coming down the aisle, it's on like a little
Ah.
wheel.
Oh, there was
Um,
some thought,
yeah,
intention,
and
and
it.
investment there.
Oh, the church I went to, they borrowed it from church I went to borrowed it from another church. And so these people, they had their cross game together. it hooked
Mm.
into this base, so it, like, kinda snapped into the base, and then when you snap into the base, the base had a lever, well, like a lever, but a hinge on it, so it just went straight up and locked into place.
Wow. This is a whole industry.
I guess, yeah,
Like
I guess people
props
making
for
props for churches, people
religious.
making crosses. Yeah,
Yeah.
that thing was sturdy, and they strapped me in, and, let me tell you, the cross is not is a brutal way to die.
Yeah.
A brutal way to, like, I was up there, for, just part of the play, but it wasn't like I wasn't living in comfort upon that thing,
Did
and
you
I
have were
had,
you like them, like no shirt and stuff?
yeah, no shirt in the diaper
Wow.
and the
Wow.
white thing wrapped around. Yeah.
Wow. This is and these are clearly see people made these. Like somebody at on the deacon board was like, "Oh, I can do that."
Oh,
No,
yeah.
you can't. And this is why.
Yeah, and the fact that
Just
that part
invest.
came off, poor craftsmanship right there.
Yeah. Clearly. Because people just think, "Oh, I can just do this." No, you can't.
Fitz asked, was this something I auditioned for? No, Fitz. I originally was just there to because my son was in the play. So I was his dad taking his son to the play. And then a couple rehearsals go by and they realize, hey, we ain't got a Jesus. And so they
Mm.
looked at me and said, we need you to play Jesus. I said, okay.
Did you have a silky Jesus lace
Did
front
not have
too?
silky Jesus. Did not have silky Jesus lace front. I grew. I couldn't. I grew my hair out. I didn't have a whole lot of time to grow my hair out because I had something for work like 2 weeks before that. So I let my hair grow out for about 2 to 3 weeks, and so whatever stubble came out, and
Oh,
that
you
was
just
it.
had
Like
that.
I didn't
Okay.
have a Jesus lace front, nothing like that. Um, I was not a bald Jesus. So I grew my hair, so I had like a scruffy beard, and I had hair on my head. I
Oh,
wasn't shaving at all.
you were
And
committed to the role.
I
That's what's
tried,
up.
and it was a musical on top of that. So I just couldn't just talk to the people. They made me sing songs. Jesus
On
had
the cross.
Jesus had like 3 or 4 numbers in this musical. No, I didn't sing on
Wow.
the cross. It was a whole
Oh.
storyline. So the cross was just a part of the story.
Oh,
It was
right.
a
They
whole
did the whole
storyline.
thing.
It was
Oh,
a different
wow.
take on the Jesus story. So it wasn't like the traditional thing. Like I wasn't like in the Garden of Eden getting my ear chopped off. Well, not Garden of Eden, but I wasn't in Gethsemane getting my ear
Gethsemane.
chopped off. It was a different take, but part of this, it was a more modern story with a bunch of
Hmm.
kids and stuff and some other things, but they still kept the cross crucifixion. So I was like fake beat and hung on the cross and all this.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's there you go. I have never seen this, but now I'm very interested. Add this to the list of things. If this is happening at your church, please invite me along with Spider-Man worship. Like these are things I've never seen. As many churches as I have been to, I have never seen a person on a cross.
So something else, speaking of things you've never seen, I can guarantee you that you and neighbors have never seen people tarrying like this. For those you don't know, tarrying is basically when you usually have someone, typically happens at the front of the church, and this
Mhm.
person is praying and clapping, and then you have someone next to them telling them to say Jesus or thank you Jesus or Holy Spirit, just telling them to say stuff,
Mhm.
giving them orders. And the person clapping is most of the time crying or foaming at the mouth or sweating or all of the above. But I can guarantee you have never seen tarrying like this. You can. Call it. Call it. Call it. I said, loosen myself. Loosen Lord, I thank you. Lord, loosen my son. He cut out the bosa. Right now, in the name of Jesus. Oh, my God, my God. Loosen myself.
Lucy, my say you trying to take it live. He come on the most side. He come on the mama. He come on mama. Lucy, I say
Come
right
on,
now.
Queen
In
Mother.
the blood of Jesus. The blood of Jesus. The blood of Jesus. Ah! Oh, bless it.
I think so. For those who don't know, this woman with the green hat, she is known on Facebook or in the social media streets as Queen Mother Vera Hill.
Oh.
If you recall, when the pandemic started, she recorded a video basically saying, "Y'all go ahead on to the church and don't ask me to pray for you if something happened to you." Um, somebody asked in the chat, "Is this a skit?" I can tell you, Queen Mother don't play church, so this ain't no skit.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's obvious.
yeah, and but I have never seen someone stand in front of somebody tarrying strumming a guitar.
She better come on with her guitar.
Yeah. For those you know, she is known for having services or doing Facebook lives in her home, playing the
Oh,
guitar.
wow.
Sometimes it's a drummer. Her, I think the guy's her husband. They have been known to pass out, to do all kinds of carrying on, and have a good time with the Lord. But right now, she is with this brother. Brother got on jeans and a t-shirt, and he's just standing there clapping. This is
He's into it. He needed it. He needed it that day.
maybe,
I think he was into it.
but I don't know what I would do if somebody was up. I'm like, can you chill with the guitar? And why you rubbing my head like that? Like she
Oh
is
yeah, that's that like aggressive anointing. I've seen this happen. That's kind of like the like stern push. Yeah, I see people do that
my,
type of
my
and put
sister
some
said
stank on it.
she's also the candy lady on her block. She has all the soda and ice cups. So, Sister Mary, you gonna come get this candy and you gonna come get some of this word.
And
That
that's
is
her
awesome.
husband?
I think so. They always together. So I'm assuming that's her husband.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So Queen Mother Vera out here,
No
tarrying.
shoes.
No shoes.
With a no shoes anointing. She better come on.
So I'm gonna stick with stuff you haven't seen before. I'm sure you all seen people leading, singing, worship, playing the tambourine. Queen Mother plays guitar. You've seen people all kinds of instruments singing, leading worship. I can guarantee you never seen this. So for the audio listeners, there's a brother leading praise and worship, and he has two cookie sheets, a rectangular one and a round one, and he is beating them together uh, while he's singing.
I have no problem with this as long as we make sure that they don't get recycled and back into the kitchen.
No,
As
dude has
long
to.
as we're sure that they're going to be reserved for this purpose, I'm fine with this.
No, this is probably 10, 11 o'clock worship service. This
Hmm.
brother has to work the kitchen at 11.
Hmm.
I can at one. I can guarantee you, some say cookie sheets are going to be used to make something. This brother, he's got.
No.
That's the problem. See, y'all don't. That's not volunteering in churches. You make people that do volunteer. They gotta do extra stuff. So now, brother he gotta lead
Oh, look,
worship,
his kid
and
is
then later he
laughing.
gotta go in the back and he gotta cook
Uh-uh.
because y'all out here not volunteering enough.
No, see, he got an outfit. They have a whole like African
That don't.
kente thing going on. So no, he meant to, or you say he doing double duty because he meant to do that job.
He doing double duty. That brother, either he has to change of clothes or he has one of them plastic smocks. I have an aunt who who keeps plastic smocks at the ready. Like, cause you never know when she needs to roll in the
Yes.
service. So she could be somewhere, and next thing you know, she digging in
Wait.
her purse, pulling
Those
out
and those
plastic
gloves.
aprons. I said aprons, the plastic aprons.
Yes.
Yeah, my aunt keeps those at the ready, cause you just never know when stuff jump off.
I used to love just like marveling at the commercial kitchen. And I'd be like, oh my goodness, this fridge is so big. And I would be like, look at all this aluminum foil, those huge industrial size aluminum foil rolls. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not recycle those
No,
for
those are
the
getting
for
used.
the
Y'all
meal.
eating off them tonight.
Mm-mm.
Either he gonna serve off of them
No,
or
thank
actually
you.
cook them. Oh yeah,
No, thank
them
you.
those getting you. This church does this church look like? No, no offense. I'm guessing they don't have an unlimited budget and abundance of. You got to make use of what you
Yeah.
got. Brother Ken got your tambourine is also the serving plate. Just so you know.
Well,
Well, there you go. So on to more stuff that why is this in church? I want you to see this brother chooses a vehicle to exhibit his praise. So what you are seeing for the audio listeners, oops, sorry. What you are seeing is a brother doing a praise dance on the hoverboard. And I wish I could say this is the first time we've ever showed a hoverboard. And I wish I could say the first time we ever showed people praise dancing on a hoverboard, but both of those, no. So this is not a theme now, but this brother, I'm trying to figure out how committed he is to his praise dance because I have not seen uh, high water sweatpants and
And
sweatshirt, a
this is
hoodie sweatshirt.
oh, I just saw that.
Yeah, I have not seen that kind of praise dance outfit.
And this is an older individual
This is
because
an
he
older
has a
brother.
very
Yes,
white beard.
yes. Oh yeah, it's a big white beard. But yeah, he is.
And
Taking,
hoverboard is somewhere saying this is not an approved use of our technology. We do not recommend that you do this. I mean, there's mics and cords and this is a mess. And speakers. No, sir. Mm-mm.
and brother, you can't praise dance with just a regular hoverboard. This brother has a light up hoverboard. The wheels and the front and back all light up. So he was
He
committed to
had
this
it.
thing. Oh yeah.
It's this could have easily gone wrong though.
Oh yeah.
It's too much. And this is a nice sanctuary.
All right.
I mean, they got a skylight. They got fresh carpet that they had clean. They got flags. Come on now. This is a nice. I would have hated for anything to go wrong. Yeah, I don't want him to do this anymore.
Now this is clearly a very accepting church because there are some churches you can't come with all kinds of vehicles and all kinds of carrying on the church floor like that. Like
Yeah,
yeah, you just can't.
this is just not a good idea. But it's not that many people in there, and of course, it's somebody recording. Who is you? Is this a regular attending member though? Like maybe he's somebody's
The
like,
visitor. Oh
yeah, or you know
goodness.
how every people have it's like, oh, that's such and such is like wayward son.
Like the reggae
And
dude we
like
showed a couple.
every now and again he comes and we just like they just like whatever. He come like once or
Brother
twice a
Johnny
year.
want to dance, so we're gonna let Brother Johnny
We just
dance
gonna let
today.
it right.
Oh man, I got one more. I got but not one. I got another one. Here's another person who chose to express their praise with a prop. Check this out. Get first. So I could not play the extended part of the clip because it was too long. But so for the audio listeners, I'll give you all some background. Before what we see now, somebody at the mic is saying, look at sister so and so in the front. I can make out what her name was. So there's a woman in the front, wearing a dress and a hat, and she got a mask on, and in front of her is her walker. So clearly she has mobility issues. And they said the praise started going up, and this brother that you see right now, he was on the stage before dancing, but somebody said, she can't move her legs, so y'all got to dance for her, move her legs for her. So then people started converging in front of this woman, and they started dancing. in front of her, and she's getting it. She's moving her arms. You can see she's getting it. But then you see this brother in the robe. He proceeds to grab her walker and then dance with her walker, and not just dance in place. Oh no, he starts moving forward with the walker down in front of the church. So he's still dancing, pushing the walker, doing his dance, and then does a turn and then goes back, all with the
See,
walker.
this
Why?
is like, first of all, I want them to stop hovering around her. She's got on her mask and they don't. So I want them to, take two giant steps back. In addition to, this is not the intended purpose of this, guys. Like, this is a bit too much. And see, this is where if you had invited a friend to church, this would be like, oh, this usually doesn't happen. See, people could take offense to something like this.
Yeah, this
But
is
I mean, the mother is, bless her heart, she's all right. She's into it. But the craziest part, you know how this could have gone wrong? Because he got his robe stuck in the walker.
yeah.
Mm-mm. Too much.
Fitz said this is why we can't have nice things. Pastor took it too far. Yes.
How did that it looks like, I mean, it was seriously wrapped around the walker.
And Gary said that ain't for Jesus.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Yeah. So, when I don't know why he would grab a walker and go in like that, but that's what he chose to do.
Not okay.
Okay, I got one more to show you in the neighbors. I don't know why this brother is doing this. You can see for yourself.
I need to hear y'all on this side. Trust in the Lord. Trust in the Lord.
So as you can see, they're singing "Trust in the Lord with all your heart." The people are just singing, and this brother just starts screaming for no reason. He turns to his right. He's not screaming at anyone. He's just screaming. He's not signaling. He looks towards the piano player. He's not signaling him though, because the piano player is just as confused as the rest of us. I don't know what he's doing.
Is this? Okay, yo, why does their drum space look like a fish tank? Someone needs to check on that drummer. He
The
might
drum
not
kit,
be okay.
the drum shield.
Yeah, it looks
Just
too
'cause
much
the
like a
lights.
fish
It's
tank.
because the lights. He like the lights in the back.
And his has like a roof.
Yeah, some of them have roofs.
I've never seen one with a roof. Okay. Oh wow, that's really.
But I don't
Okay.
know why this brother just decided he was gonna yell in the middle
That's
of the song.
insane. And people are okay. I feel like we've seen this a lot. Do people normally just be in the crowd with the mic? I don't like that in terms of the praise and worship. Like, this person is singing, so he's up on the pulpit.
Well,
There's several people in the audience, but they're not like facing the audience like praise.
yeah, I was. Sometimes when the preacher gets up and he sings a song, a good worship leader, a good worship team will
goes
support. But I don't know if that's the preacher, because you got the brother on the right wearing the robe. So
and sitting down.
why you got on the robe if it ain't your turn your day to preach? So I don't think that's the
What was
preacher.
that?
This brother right here got a robe, so I'm guessing he's the
Right.
one who'll be bringing the word today. And I don't know why the stage ain't but so big, so it's not like you could have a bunch of
They
people
can't
up
get
there.
back up
It'd be
there.
kind of tight to be up
Yeah.
there. But the neighbors asked me to run it back. I'm gonna play it one more time so the neighbors can hear it.
I need to hear y'all on this side. Trust in the Lord. Trust in the Lord.
He just starts screaming for no reason. I don't know. Somebody hurt you, sir? What is wrong? I don't know.
Maybe that's a part of his praise or something.
Maybe.
I mean, nobody looked that alarmed. So, and they sort of kept going. So maybe they're used to this from him. This is nonsense, though.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, these are things like you can't invite your friend. Now you have to be explaining.
You gotta explain. You gotta
I don't
explain.
want, like, this just makes being a witness too hard.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Goodness grief.
You gotta, you do. There are things you gotta explain. That's all I got. You got some tea for the people?
I have some quick tea.
Okay.
So, this is a follow up on the last time that we were here in the neighborhood and we talked about how things were going down at Hillsong.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
people are defecting left and right from Hillsong. Like
Yeah. I heard about that.
Sam Collier, the
Is that him?
recently named the black guy who's the history making in terms of being a black pastor in Hillsong. He was a pastor of Hillsong Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
He left and he said people after that, it was already a scandal when he started because of the pastor of Hillsong New York
Yeah.
had been in extramarital relationships, and so he was like, his congregants were basically like, we don't know if we can trust this church, like this is too confusing. But here's the thing, he
Mm-hmm.
immediately was like, I'm leaving and I'm starting another church in Atlanta called Story Church,
Okay.
which is branded to align with his he has a podcast called A Greater Story with Sam Collier. But this is an interesting thing, and I had to learn a new word
All right.
for this description of the church. This is what it says. Story Church is a multicultural, spirit-filled, and post-Christian inspired movement rooted in Jesus Christ. Founded in Atlanta, Georgia, we believe in the power of prayer, etc., etc. The word that I had to learn was
Post-Christian?
post-Christian.
Yeah. What's
I
that?
was like, what that is, and how you gonna be post-Christian but also founded in Jesus Christ? Well, post-Christian, according to the interwebs, post-Christianity is the situation in which Christianity is no longer the dominant civil religion of a society, but has gradually assumed values, culture, and worldviews that are not necessarily Christian. Post-Christian tends to refer to the loss of Christianity's monopoly in historically Christian societies. So I think what he's saying is that in the midst of a world that is turned away
From
from
Christian.
Christianity, he is lifting up a standard, but it also kind of sounds like it's pluralism to me.
Basically, it sounds like he's saying we a Christian church, but we not like the rest of them.
Yeah, it says
So
it is
that's probably what he wants to say.
post-Christian influenced.
Okay.
This refrain is often heard when discussing the present day conditions of the church in the West, post-Christian culture, post-Christian society, ethics, etc. These are all rubrics under which worried discussions take place when evaluating our contemporary moment. A post-Christian world or nation is a nation that leans away from God, not towards him. At Story Church, we believe in order to reach our current world, we must create programs and spaces for skeptics, doubters, and the unchurched to ask hard questions and be met with sophisticated and nuanced answers steeped in biblical truth. It's
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah, they're saying a lot of words. A lot of words. Well, I mean, hey, I hope that they are helping people and helping people meet Jesus and serving the community and doing all that kind of stuff and all the other stuff. Use your big words, brother. Do what you got to do to spread the gospel.
I'm gonna watch this one. We'll see. I'm very curious about this. I'm curious about the extent to which a church is doing this, and I wonder how many skeptics are actually coming to church. But this is interesting. Anyway, I'm gonna be watching this, and I thought the name of it was very Hillsongy, Story Church. It was very, it's in the same sort of mood.
Well, it does meet my criteria for churches. One word and then church.
There you go. Story.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're probably running out of virgin English language that makes sense in front of the word church. We have transformation, restoration, relentless, courageous. We're just
grace, hope,
Yeah, we're using up all the words.
Yeah. So, story. This is
Okay.
interesting. And I learned something new about that we're, I guess, in a post Christian society. So, although I don't know that I mean, that assumes that at some point we were living in a Christian society. But
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't know. We may have been living in sort of a religious society in certain ways, but I don't know. But
Yeah,
anyway, it's going down at Hillsong. I don't know.
yeah,
And I'm glad to see that there's been a response and people aren't just like, oh, okay, well, we got out the bad apples, and
yeah.
we're just gonna move on. So this is one to watch.
Cool. You got anything else?
That's it.
All right. Well, neighbors, want to thank all y'all for hanging out with us tonight. We do this show every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern right here on Facebook and YouTube. You can watch us live then. We appreciate. Thank you to everyone who hung out with us live on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you for all the comments. YouTube, there's not too many comments from y'all. Y'all there? Or are you with us today on YouTube? I'm wondering. But thank y'all for listening and hanging out. If you can't watch live, you can watch on demand. Turntoyourneighbor.com for all different ways you can watch on demand. If you want to watch live, make sure you like our Facebook page and or subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you subscribe to YouTube, click on turn on notifications so you can be notified when we go live. You can hang out with all the neighbors, hang out with us live. Because the neighbors make it so much fun to do it live. We could just record it, but it wouldn't be as fun
That's right.
without getting feedback from y'all live. All right. You got anything else?
We're good.
Okay. Neighbors, thanks for hanging out with us. Until next time, take care and be blessed. Peace.